Gemini, there's something you're sensing, isn't there? A feeling that's hard to describe, as if something is shifting in the energy around you. Everything seems normal on the surface, yet deep inside, you know something isn't right. A strange look, a word that makes you pause. A vague intuition whispering that someone around you is hiding something you can't quite name. And the scariest part is, your rational mind is trying to deny it. Gemini, you've always believed you understand people deeply. You can read body language, feel emotional frequencies faster than anyone else. But this time, the person you thought you could trust the most is making you question everything. It could be a close friend, a lover, or someone you once called your soulmate. The universe is showing you every small detail, every little deviation from the usual pattern, not to frighten you, but to awaken you before deeper pain arrives. What's about to be revealed might make your heart tremble, but don't be afraid. This isn't a collapse. It's a divine call to reclaim the intuition your logic has been suppressing for so long. If you feel you're resonating with this message, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a short comment. I'm ready to see the truth. Because who knows, that very sentence might awaken what you most need to see today. Take a deep breath, prepare your favorite cup of tea or coffee, and sit with me, Gemini. Together, we'll step into the story the universe has chosen to deliver to you at this moment. Part 1. Opening warning. The conflict you feel but can't explain. Gemini, have you felt something strange lately? Not exactly a specific event, but a hazy energy drifting around you, as if even the air is trying to say something you haven't yet understood. On the surface, everything seems fine. People still smile, still care for you as usual, but somewhere deep inside, you know a certain frequency has gone off balance. A harmless comment, a fleeting glance that makes your heart skip, and you ask yourself, am I just imagining things? Gemini, what you feel isn't an illusion. You were born under the sign of air of movement and sharp intuition. You can sense emotions through the smallest details. The hesitation in someone's voice when a topic comes up, the subtle shift of energy in a room when they walk in. You know you've always known, but you're also better than anyone at denying what you know, because your rational mind always wants a reasonable explanation, a positive perspective to convince yourself that everything's fine. Gemini has a very special trait. You carry the heart of a child and the mind of a sage. You love and trust deeply, yet you also question everything. You want to see the good in people, but you can't stop analyzing them. And this inner contradiction often traps you in tangled emotions. Your intuition whispers, something's wrong, while your logic says, don't be negative. So you stay silent. You wait. You observe. You tell yourself you're just being too sensitive, that maybe they're just tired. Maybe it's nothing. But Gemini, the universe never sends warnings without reason. Those moments when you notice averted eyes, forced smiles, or that strange shortness of breath when talking to someone, they aren't coincidences. They're signs. You may have started to realize that someone close to you is changing. Someone who used to share everything with you now hides the most important pieces. Someone who once looked at you with trust now carries calculation and quiet distance in their eyes. Maybe they still care for you, but you can feel the shift. The purity is gone. Gemini, you've always believed in logic, but emotions never follow logic. When the universe wants to protect you from misaligned energy, it sends subtle discomforts, a dream that leaves you uneasy, a conversation where you feel read, or even a brief glance you can't forget. Don't ignore these signals. They're your soul trying to pull you out of a spiral. You might be asking, why is the universe warning me now? Because it's time to look again, not with your logical eyes, but through the light of intuition. Sometimes, truth doesn't appear in words, but in the silence between two people. Not in grand gestures, but in the way someone avoids your gaze when you look too deeply. You're standing at the threshold of a truth. Something is about to be revealed. And before it comes, the universe wants you to be ready, not afraid, but awake. The sooner you recognize it, the better your chance to choose the path with the least pain. Gemini, your mind is powerful. But this time, let your heart lead, because your logic will keep insisting that everything's fine while your soul is quietly begging you to listen. Trust the feeling in your chest, that lump in your throat, even without clear evidence. It's the voice of the universe protecting you. If you've ever felt someone's energy shifting around you, if you've fallen into a strange silence in a familiar conversation, know this. You're not crazy. You're awakening. And once you begin to see it, you can never go back to being unaware. But that isn't loss. It's the first step toward freedom. And if deep down, you hear that calling, don't ignore it. Maybe this is the exact moment the universe chose to awaken you, to help you see who truly walks beside you, and who only wears the mask of good intentions. So Gemini, take a deep breath, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a short comment. I'm ready to see the truth. That's your declaration to the universe, your signal that you're ready to open your eyes and see what's really happening around you. Prepare your favorite cup of tea or coffee. Sit quietly, because from here, we'll go deeper into the part few. Dare to face the place where truth begins to reveal itself. Part 2. The revelation approaches. The person you least expected is about to show their true colors. Gemini. Sometimes, truth doesn't crash into your life with a loud explosion. It arrives quietly, through a single moment. A look that can't be hidden. A casual sentence that suddenly shatters everything inside your mind. And in that very instant, you'll realize you were right all along. In the next few days, something will leave you speechless. It might come as an action that seems ordinary. Someone refusing to help when you truly need them, or accidentally revealing a secret that only the two of you were supposed to know. It might even be their cold silence in the moment you need them most. But right then, every piece will fall into place, and you'll see it clearly. The person you trusted all this time was never really standing on your side. Gemini, you're someone who can read people's emotions with ease. Yet, with this person, you let your heart override your intuition. They made you believe they understood you better than anyone else, that your connection was something rare, almost spiritual. They listened, laughed, even mirrored your words so well that you thought, we must be on the same frequency. But now, you're beginning to realize it was all a reflection. They were imitating your energy, never truly sharing it. When the universe wants you to see the truth, it never hurts you without purpose. It simply lifts the veil so you can stop being blind. The truth that's coming may shock you, but it's the awakening your soul has been waiting for. You might cry, you might feel like you're falling, but really, you're just falling out of illusion and back into reality. Do you know what hurts the most, Gemini? It's not betrayal. It's the moment you realize that the person who once seemed to know every corner of your mind was someone you never truly understood. You thought you could read each other's thoughts, but now you see they were reading you only to find your weaknesses, not to love you. This person isn't necessarily evil. They're trapped in fear. Fear of losing you. Fear of not being enough. Fear that you might discover your worth and walk away. But that very fear made them act out of alignment, sometimes selfishly, sometimes manipulatively. And in the coming days, one unconscious action from them will expose it all. Maybe they'll slip up in a conversation. Maybe you'll see a message you weren't meant to. Or maybe you'll simply feel the shift so clearly in your body that denial becomes impossible. Don't blame yourself for trusting. Your trust was a gift, not a mistake. The one who couldn't be honest enough to deserve that gift is the one who truly lost. The universe is forcing you to see this so that you'll understand. You don't need anyone to feel complete. You just need the truth. Gemini, when the truth surfaces, don't run from it. Let yourself feel everything, the disappointment, the sadness, even the anger. Because when you allow yourself to truly feel, you also allow yourself to truly heal. One day, when you look back, you'll realize this shock didn't come to destroy you. It came to set you free from what was false. You don't need to pretend to be strong. Be soft. Be honest. Because when you face your real emotions, the universe will align to bring you genuine connections. Ones that don't need masks, explanations, or guessing, just mutual understanding. Gemini, you're standing on the thin line between illusion and truth. And the moment you dare to open your eyes, everything will become crystal clear. That person doesn't realize their own actions are becoming their confession before the universe. They don't know that you, the quiet observer, are about to see them in a completely different light. So take a deep breath. Let the truth come gently. And remember, nothing real is ever lost. Only illusions are falling away. This is the moment your Gemini soul transforms from someone who trusted blindly into someone who sees through everything. If you've ever felt that, I knew it, but I still chose to believe, then maybe today is the day to stop forcing belief. Let your intuition lead you. And if you're still here, listening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I'm ready to see the truth. Because in the days ahead, you'll need that inner strength more than ever as the final veil is about to lift. Part 3. The root of the problem. When logic blurs intuition. Gemini, you've always taken pride in your intelligence, haven't you? You're the one who can read situations faster than anyone else. You analyze, you observe, and sometimes you can even predict the outcome before it happens. But here's the paradox in relationships. It's that very intelligence that often makes you the most vulnerable. Have you noticed that every time your intuition tells you something's off, your mind instantly jumps in to reason it away? You tell yourself, it's fine, I'm just tired. Or, they didn't mean to hurt me. And then, you stay. You try to understand. You analyze. You rationalize your own emotions, while your soul is screaming that something isn't right. Gemini, you're not foolish. You're too intelligent, too sensitive. That's why you always try to understand instead of feel. You fear being seen as suspicious, as overreacting, as someone too emotional. You fear losing the connection you value so much. So, you choose silence. You choose peace. You choose to tolerate what feels wrong just to keep everything okay. But okay is only the surface. Inside, your soul is suffocating under the weight of unspoken truth. Have you ever wondered why the universe keeps sending you the same kind of people? The ones who make you feel seen at first, then slowly make you doubt your own worth? That's not punishment, Gemini. It's a lesson. You were born to learn the difference between intelligence and illusion. Your intellect helps you understand others. But intuition, that's what helps you understand yourself. And in unhealthy relationships, Gemini often reverses this. You use logic to protect others, but forget to use intuition to protect yourself. You think if you analyze harder, you'll find a reason to forgive, to stay, to fix the energy. But not everything is meant to be fixed. Some things are meant to end. Gemini, you are the sign of connection and communication. You love with words. You believe in dialogue. But not every relationship can be healed through talking, because sometimes the problem isn't misunderstanding, it's dishonesty. And sometimes the first honesty you owe is to your own feelings. Look back for a moment. How many times have you felt something was wrong yet smiled and brushed it off, afraid of being too sensitive? How many times have you tried to be rational, to save a relationship, while your heart was already exhausted? How many times have you chosen false peace over painful truth, even when truth was the only way to freedom? You see, Gemini, you're not being punished. You're being awakened. The universe is teaching you one of life's greatest lessons. Not everyone you meet deserves your mind and your energy. Some people come only to mirror your fears. Fear of being abandoned, of being alone, of losing love, if you stop forgiving. But what you don't realize is, they are the reason you've been losing yourself. Once you learn to tell the difference between the voice of logic and the call of intuition, you'll discover something powerful. Intuition never lies. It may whisper softly, but it's always right. And when you start listening to it, life becomes so clear it's almost frightening. You'll see who's genuine and who's pretending, who comes from love and who comes from need. Gemini, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Listen to your body. When you're near someone, what does your energy say? Do you feel light or drained? Safe or tense? Don't ignore that signal. Stop using logic to justify bad energy. Emotions don't lie. They are the compass the universe gave you to protect yourself. And you know what? You don't have to understand everything right now. You just have to trust what you feel. When you stop analyzing, stop forcing yourself to be right, and start listening, you'll awaken a new kind of strength. The strength of clarity. Gemini, you're not foolish for trusting. You're just learning how to use your brilliant mind to protect your heart. And this time, you won't need a reason to walk away, you'll just know that you deserve peace. If you've ever rationalized your own emotions, share your story in the comments below. Let the universe hear you. And don't forget to subscribe, because this healing journey isn't over yet. And you, Gemini, you won't walk it alone. Parkat. Awakening. When the truth reveals itself, your soul is set free. Gemini. At some point, every mask must fall. No matter how hard people try to hide, their true energy will always reveal itself, because the universe never allows deception to linger too long in your life. And when that happens, when you finally see the true face of someone you once trusted, loved, or even defended, the first feeling will be shock, followed by anger, and finally, liberation. Yes, liberation, that strange feeling that is both painful and freeing. Because in the moment of truth, you don't just lose a person. You free yourself from the illusion that's been holding you captive. Gemini, you've always wanted to see the good in people. You believe in transformation, in the idea that if you're patient enough, understanding enough, loving enough, they'll eventually become better. But not everyone wants to be healed. Some people prefer to hide behind their masks to let you see only the version they perform, because they know your heart is too kind to doubt them. And then one day, they make a small mistake, or simply forget their role. A glance, a word, a reaction, and suddenly the entire wall of illusion collapses. You stand there, silent, and everything you've been quietly suspecting becomes painfully clear. But remember, Gemini, this is not an ending. This is a rebirth. You're being separated from old energy so you can return to your stronger, wiser self. Your soul deep down was never weak. It just forgot its own power while it was too busy caring for others. Right now, your heart may feel cracked open. You may ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Or, why didn't I see it sooner? But understand this, you weren't deceived. You were taught. You didn't waste time. You were forged. And this wound will become your sharpest weapon, your divine discernment, helping you see who's real and who's not in the chapters to come. Gemini, you weren't born to be a mirror for others. You were born to shine your own light. Your brilliance doesn't come from how well you understand others, but from how deeply you understand yourself. And now, you're beginning to see that true wisdom isn't knowing every answer, it's knowing when to let go. Don't be surprised if, in the coming days, you feel yourself changing rapidly. You'll speak less, feel more. You'll choose silence over explaining. You'll see through things instead of trying to prove your point. That is the sign of awakening. You no longer want to argue with those who refuse to listen, and you no longer feel the need to prove your worth, because you've seen enough. When this wound finally heals, you'll realize it opened a new doorway inside you, a doorway to inner freedom. You'll no longer depend on promises. You'll no longer fear losing anyone. You'll no longer worry about being misunderstood. You'll only crave one thing: to live honestly and to love in truth. Imagine peeling away each mask. The mask of, I'm fine. The mask of, I know everything. The mask of, I can forgive endlessly. Beneath all those layers is you, pure, powerful, luminous. And that soul is blooming now, expanding, remembering. You were never meant to be saved because you are the light. The universe is on your side, Gemini. It's not taking anything from you. It's clearing away what's unworthy of you. That person, whatever they did, was merely a tool guiding you to this exact stage. Awakening, awareness, and freedom. If you feel yourself awakening from an illusion, let your heart smile, because it means you've seen a truth most people aren't brave enough to face. And if this message resonates with your soul, leave a short comment. I'm awakening. I'm awakening. Hit like, subscribe, and let the universe know you're ready for your next chapter, where you live in truth, love in truth, and shine without asking anyone's permission. Part 5. Action. Choosing truth, protecting your energy, and beginning a new chapter. Gemini, now you see everything clearly. What was once blurry has come into focus. And even though the truth might make your heart tremble, it's also opening a completely new path for you. The question is, will you stay where things have already collapsed? Or will you walk away and reclaim yourself? This is the time to act, not with anger, not with resentment, but with clarity and deep self-respect. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need justice from those who were never honest to begin with. Every time you try to understand a little more, you give more of your energy to something that was meant to end. Gemini, stop seeking answers from those who hurt you. They cannot give you truth, only recycled stories in a softer tone. And you no longer need to listen. The truth you need, you've already heard. It came from your own heart. Now, the most important thing is to pull your energy back, not to escape, but to return to your center, where your logic and emotions come back into balance. Let your mind rest after all those exhausting days of trying to understand others. Let your heart recover after all those times you smiled just to hide the pain. You don't have to do something right away. Sometimes, the most powerful action is silence and observation. Watch how people react when you stop chasing. Watch who truly misses you when you disappear from their life. And you'll see silence speaks louder than 100 explanations. Gemini, The universe is teaching you a sacred lesson. Don't try to understand. Learn to let go. Not every ending needs a reason. Not every departure needs closure. Some things fall apart simply to make room for what's meant for you. The more you cling, the more you delay the healing that the universe has already arranged for you. Give yourself permission to find balance again. Return to the small things that make you feel alive. A slow morning, an old song, a quiet cup of coffee, a moment where you don't have to pretend to be okay. Each small moment like that is a step toward freedom. When you stop chasing those who aren't genuine, the universe sends you those who are. When you stop begging for apologies, you receive something far greater peace. And that peace isn't found in promises or validation. It lives in one simple decision you make today. The decision to choose yourself. Gemini, remember, letting go is not failure. Letting go is the bravest act a mature soul can do. It says, I understand now. I no longer need more. And once you truly understand, you no longer have to pretend to be strong because you are the light. From now on, give your energy only to what mirrors your true self. Talk to people who make you feel calm. Do the things that make you feel free. Believe in what makes your heart bloom. Everything else, leave it to the universe. You don't need to end things with words. Let your actions speak. When you no longer react to the old, your energy shifts naturally. When you choose silence over argument, the universe knows you've learned the lesson. And when that happens, the rewards come: healthier connections, clearer opportunities, and a peaceful soul. Gemini, you're not alone. Thousands of souls are walking this awakening path, with you learning to leave what no longer fits, learning to love themselves without needing to prove anything. And when you look back, you'll realize everything that once hurt you was only guiding you home back to yourself. If you're ready to step into your new chapter, leave a comment. I choose myself. Hit like, subscribe, and let the universe know that you've chosen light, chosen truth, and chosen to become the strongest version of yourself. Because this isn't the end, Gemini. This is the true beginning. Gemini, after everything, what the universe wants you to realize isn't about who was right or wrong. It's about how much you've grown through those wounds. The truth may hurt, but it's also the gift that sets you free. When you dare to face it, you stop being the victim and become the awakened one. The greatest lesson for Gemini is learning to choose yourself before choosing anyone else. Not out of selfishness, but from understanding that true love can only exist when you don't abandon yourself. When you protect your energy, the universe brings you connections that are worthy, built on honesty, balance, and respect. Remember, peace doesn't come from apologies. It comes from no longer needing anyone to understand you. You don't need to be saved, because you are your own guide. Trust that whatever has left you has already fulfilled its purpose, and what's coming next will carry new light. If this message touched your heart, leave a comment. I choose peace. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to continue receiving messages the universe has written just for you. Gemini, you're not just the sign of air. You are the breath of change, the bridge between logic and soul. Hold on to your light, because you are, and have always been, complete. Thank you for staying until the end of today's journey. See you in the next video, where a new chapter for Gemini begins, filled with truth, peace, and light.